Welcome, my ambitious, adventurous Aries. It is Sachi, and we are here to do some guided healing where we will take a look into what current wound you are healing or what is being triggered, what is keeping you stuck in your healing journey, how to get you unstuck, and then some advice on how to heal the wound in general. Just a couple announcements. As a reminder that the top 2 videos with the most likes will get a bonus reading next month. These monthly readings that I have been doing are now going to be bi-monthly on YouTube, so every other month. And the month that I'm not doing the individual readings like this, there will be a collective reading, and then the individual sign readings will be on my website. So Mars is retrograding, so it's all about trying to figure out how to prioritize time and energy, and I'm hoping to continue to grow the YouTube community, so all of your likes, shares, support really means the world to me, because this is honestly my favorite thing to do. So yeah, until I get either 4,000 watch hours on YouTube or 100 members of either Eagle or Phoenix, I'm going to continue to do the bi-monthly. But if I hit either of those goals, or when I hit either of those goals, I should say, I will go back to doing the monthly readings. The other announcement I'd like to make is I have a Tarot 101 course that is now available. If you've ever been interested in learning about tarot, this is a master course that teaches you all about it. How to choose a deck, how to cleanse it, how to connect with it, as well as how to read it, obviously. We go through each of the individual cards, and I will teach you how to sort of comprehend how to read tarot as well. Not just memorize the facts about each individual card, although we do go through each card. So if that interests you, check out my shop for more information. There's a plethora of information there. There are limited seats, so jump on it if it sounds interesting to you. And oh yeah, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. That is where I post my daily content. So if you are interested in more from Sachi the Scorpio, that is where you will find me on a daily basis. All right, Aries, let us get started. All right, so in the cleansing ceremony, we had the Nine of Swords in reverse, the King of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Hanged Man. So what this was telling me is basically there is something that you haven't been able to mourn properly or let go of properly. And part of this is, the situation is because you felt very passionate about this person. It feels like there was a lot of lust or a lot of passion, or you could have been creating something together, but it seems like the feelings were temporary with the Knight of Cups, right? Knights, they can, ride into town on their horse or their fish and, offer a cup of true love. Like, yes, I truly love you so much, but they still get on their fish and ride off. And that's true too. So it seems like something was temporary where you didn't want it to be temporary, and it left you in sort of this gridlock situation of the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man represents that there are no paths leading from it, that it's sort of a dead end situation. So it seems like you thought that you had a connection that would have lasted longer, that you wanted to create with someone, it doesn't necessarily have to be a particular person. It could be a project maybe that you were working on. But again, it seems like you're sort of in this dead end spot. With coughing using foul gas in reverse, some of you might be trying to quit smoking or vaping or something like that. But in general, I feel like you're trying to keep these toxic gases out of your third eye, out of your mind, basically. So you're trying to avoid negative thoughts, basically. With Evie using smash kick, part of this is because, there was some sort of smash kick energy in communication. So again, there was something that went sort of awry here, and it's like you're trying not to think of the negative thoughts, but it's actually stopping you from being able to mourn the situation properly, and it's causing your third eye to get a bit lost here. Your mind is sort of in disarray, a little bit, mentally lost, again, because it hasn't been able to sort of clear what needs to be mourned. So anyway, Aries, kind of a serious start to things, but I hope that you are doing well. As I mentioned, we are doing the guided healing, so we are going to take a look into what is the wounds. Then we will see what is keeping you stuck in that wound, how to get you unstuck, and then some general advice on how to heal the wounds. I know that we just had eclipse season, By the way, I recommend that you get a sky app. Sky Safari or Night Sky are the two best, in my opinion. You know, download it while you're listening to this reading and look at the night sky the moment you were born. It is different than, you know, a chart calculator, and you might be surprised at what you see. I really highly recommend it. All right, let's see, Aries. What is this wound? Knight of Cups and Five of Swords. So again, this Knight of Cups energy. So this emotional come and go. Someone who may have come in being very honest about their emotions, but also left being honest about their emotions of like, hey, I love you so much. Well, now I don't anymore, sort of thing. This could be your own emotions that are sort of, you know, temporary, coming and going, but I feel like it's another person. And the issue here is I feel like this is you with the Five of Swords. You're trying to fight that. You're trying to fight that this was a temporary come and go type situation. The Five of Swords is, you know, it's swords energy. So it has to do with communication. So whether you're actually communicating and fighting with them, like, no, you better get back here or whatever, or if you're doing it in your own mind of like, they better come back or whatever it is. Again, there's a lot of fighting energy when it comes to communication, whether it's internal or external. What's the light energy? Coming out stuck in the subconscious, we have Bibarel using yawn and continuous headbutt. I don't mean to laugh. It's just that Bibarel has been coming out so much for the collective. I think this is like the 5th. I think you're number like 8 or 9 that I've done, Aries. And this is like the 5th, maybe even 6th time that Bibarel has come out. And I even pulled this card for my Instagram subscription collective, and Bibarel is beaver spirit, and beaver spirit represents how we damn our own emotional bodies, how we cause our own emotional blockages. And again, we saw in the cleansing ceremony, there is this energy of trying not to think toxic thoughts, or really trying not to think anything negative or anything that is unpleasant. So again, you're fighting against these emotions, allowing even your own emotions to come and go. It's like because someone represented emotional energy that comes and goes, and you don't like that it came and went, you're not allowing your own emotions to come and go. Do you see if that makes sense? It's like, it's that energy that is within you is reflected back in another person. And so, yeah, you are damming up your emotional body here with yawn and continuous headbutt. Yawn, obviously, this must be exhausting. It's probably exhausting your mental space because continuous headbutt, because you're constantly headbutting with this type of energy. Whether this is a person or your own energy here. Again, Five of Swords is fighting, and now we have a continuous headbutt. So it's like a continuous fight against allowing emotions to come and go. And that's literally what he's doing here by building that little thing with the, you know, building a little dam with all those sticks. And remember, the sticks are like wands energy, and your wands are your kundalini. So it's like you're using a lot of your energy to actually cause emotional blockages for yourself. It says, it makes its nest by damming streams with bark and mud. It is known as an industrious worker. So again, you know, causing these dams, and part of it can be like, oh, I'm working so hard, I don't have time to do, you know, regulate my emotions. So there can be a little bit of excuse of maybe your work schedule, of why you can't prioritize your rest, why you can't prioritize your mental health. Let's see, what's the shadow here? Ekans using bite. Oof, I'm sorry about that. It's interesting that Libra also got Ekans in their current wound. So it looks like, you know, Aries, Libra, right? Sister signs, especially with all the energy that has just gone on with Libra and Aries with the eclipse, which, if you don't know that the eclipse was in Aries on the 9th, on November 9th, I recommend that you look in the sky on that day, look back and see exactly where it was, and tell me if you think it's Taurus. I mean, hey. Anyway, so it seems like you dealt with the snake spirit, which again is divine sort of trickster energy. So it seems like you dealt with a snake, someone who could have been deceptive. And I have an article, it's free on my website, on my musings page. If you go to the musings and scroll all the way down, it's the very first article that I published called All About Ophiuchus, and it goes into the 7 emanations of Scorpio and Ophiuchus. And one of the emanations is snake spirit, and Ophiuchus is the snake grappler. So I feel like a lot of energy is there. There's this aspect of sort of understanding that the poison is the antidote, and understanding that the source of the healing is actually the source of the pain. Because yeah, you dealt with someone who was a snake, who was a trickster, and you know, snake spirit represents, again, that divine trickery of, you know, being deceived, but learning some sort of esoteric information along the way. So ultimately you've become wiser from this situation, but it still sucks that you know, have dealt with a snake like this. The one thing that's interesting about snake spirit is, and if you are interested in reading that free article, you know, scroll all the way down to the article. It's there at the bottom of, or I think it's like in the middle, about snake spirit, or the 7 emanations of Scorpio. So the thing is there's 7, and snake spirit is the 4th. And so in order to get past this reptilian frequency, like snake spirit is where a lot of people get stuck. And we all have Scorpio in our chart, right? In order to get past snake spirit, you have to sort of transcend this energy, and you use Ophiuchian energy to grapple the snakes. It's like controlling your kundalini in order to get to those higher emanations, which are wolf, eagle, and phoenix. But a lot of people get stuck in snake spirit because snake spirit, you can sort of die and rebirth over and over again. And that's when you shed the skin of the snake, right? So it's like constantly going through the same aspects of deception and trickery and, you know, things like that. Also very lustfully seductive, I'll say. And so you may notice that this is a theme. You know, maybe for some of you it's the first time you experience this, but for others of you, you may be like, okay, I've dealt with this before. It's like, oh, I always attract this kind of person, sort of thing. So, you know, it depends on where you are, but again, there is some deception here. It's saying the older it gets, the longer it grows. At night, it wraps its long body around a tree branch to rest. So again, it's talking about the older it gets, the longer it grows. So it does seem like this has continued on and on. And the more that this happens, that you allow snake spirit energy, or that you yourself stay in that snake spirit energy, then, you know, the longer this is going to happen. It's like a snake keeps shedding, but it gets fatter and longer. And that's what's going to happen if you aren't careful. It does talk about being in the trees when it gets its rest. So that gives me an energy of not really being grounded when you're sleeping. And of course, if you're exhausted, right, it's hard to ground when you sleep, because there can be this aspect of being high when you sleep or something like that. But anyway, let's see what's keeping you stuck here, Aries. 10 of Cups, 4 of Swords. So yeah, it's kind of like this fake positivity, honestly. And I don't feel like you're like, oh, da 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 da. But it's kind of this energy of like, I'm just going to be around a bunch of people who are always happy, or only be around people when I'm happy, or only be around people when we're celebrating or drinking or going out or doing fun things, and not really letting anyone in too close. So it's kind of like, I'm just going to hang out with some acquaintances, or only, you know, do this. Like, I feel like there's this kind of distracted energy. I didn't mean to say toxic positivity, because it's not like that, but it's like, I'm only going to be around positive situations, and that's sort of a protective mechanism right now. So you may be relying a lot on friends or community or family in some sort of way, instead of sort of dealing with your ish. And again, with the 4 of Swords in reverse, it's like, let's just all, you know, happy, smiles, blah, blah, blah. Let's have fun. Let's do this. And that's a way for you to actually not open up and be vulnerable to yourself or others. Let's see, what's the light energy? We have Pansage using Scratch, and going right to the Knight of Cups is the heart chakra. Yeah, I mean, hey, what's happening here? Your heart got hurt, right? Your heart, Pansage is even a heart chakra, got scratched. Your heart got scratched. Did it get completely shattered? It doesn't seem so, but I feel like if you continue over and over again, it will completely shatter. But your heart here definitely got messed with. Your heart got infiltrated by a snake spirit, and there is a need to sage, you know? But what's keeping you stuck is that you think your heart still belongs to this snake spirit, still belongs to this person who was temporary. And And maybe you're trying to like clear the energy, right? Sage is all about, sort of cleansing the energy or whatever. It's like you'll cleanse it and leave it, but your heart is still with this person. So it's still sort of inviting them. It's kind of like, saging your house and then opening your door and being like, hey, bad spirits, I'm right here. Here's the entryway sort of thing. Let's see what Panche said. It says, it shares the leaf on its head with weary looking Pokemon. These leaves are known to relieve stress. So some of you may be engaging in a lot of, again, drinking, substances, smoking, something like that, and kind of using it as the excuse of like, oh, it relieves stress. And again, going out drinking with friends. Oh yeah, let's blow off steam. Instead of actually, getting to the foundation of the issue of your mental health that's actually causing the stress. It's like you're doing things to sort of depress your nervous system instead. Let's see what's the shadow here. Temple using get loud. Okay, and it seems like what's also getting you stuck is, surprise, surprise, getting loud. So this is the throat chakra, but also the emotional energy. So it can be, again, maybe getting, rowdy with your buddies or something and singing really loud, or maybe, screaming at whoever or whatever it may be. But it seems like things are very much activating your waters here. Temple is also a tadpole type energy. So some of you may be, engaging in sort of like a friends with benefits sort of situation is kind of what I'm feeling. It says, by vibrating its cheeks, lol, by vibrating its cheeks, it emits sound waves imperceptible to humans. It uses the rhythm of these sounds to talk. So it's talking about literally not even like being in the talking phase. It's just sort of like friends with benefits, just sort of using basically the vibes rather than communicating. So again, some of you may be friends with benefits, some not. But I feel like in general, again, it's like not really communicating about anything important or meaningful. It's just sort of vibing with people to ignore the real issue here. Let's see what Mother Moon would like to say. As I mentioned in the extended, we're going to see how to get you unstuck. I feel like, okay, I was going to say, I feel like there's another one. And then we'll see how to heal this wound in general. So the first one that wanted to come up is your hard work is paying off in reverse, and you are good enough in reverse. So this is saying, again, we see you're an industrious worker, and everyone knows Aries can be really hardworking, but your hard work isn't paying off, because what's the point of working hard when you can't really enjoy your life and when you're in sort of emotional and mental distress? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how hard you work, and it seems like maybe you're sort of blowing it on having, partying and having fun anyway. But regardless of that, it's like, the real hard work that really pays off is dealing with your emotional and mental health issues. And with you are good enough in reverse, full moon in Virgo, it's saying that because this person abandoned, I don't even want to say abandoned, it seems like they communicated before they left. But it seems like this abandonment wound that was triggered basically has made you feel like you're not good enough, because again, it's like your heart is still with them. That's what your blockage is that your heart is still over here with this snake. And it's making you feel like you're not good enough because they're not there. So you've put your heart in the hands of someone who is temporary. And that obviously can make you question your self-worth. Absolutely. I see that. That's very... That's, yeah. Relationship harmony. Archangel Raguel. Yeah. That's what you need, Aries, is some relationship harmony. Let's see what Archangel would like to bring us into the extended. We have two of them. Number one, clear your space. This is Archangel Jophiel saying, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use feng shui. So again, it's not just saging a space in order to whatever. And honestly, if you want a new partner in your life, or even if you're trying to manifest someone back, but honestly, that doesn't look good. You never want to be with a snake. Why would you? But you want to make sure that you have room for them. So for example, is there closet space for them? Is your house in good shape that you would be, open and proud to have someone over anyway, sort of thing. So it's really time to sort of change the energy in your space and use feng shui, which is, you know, the way the energy moves through a room. Is it inviting? Is it jarring? Is it, you know what I mean? Is it sensual? Like, you know, it's really time to sort of redecorate things in physicality. And then we have clairaudience. This is Archangel Zadkiel saying, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind and from other people. So this is talking about making sure that you use your ears as a way to connect to the divine. I mean, obviously you're listening to this message right now. But also with Archangel Zadkiel, you can say, you know, send me an answer, Archangel Zadkiel, what do I do? And then, you know, open your ears. Maybe a song starts playing. Maybe, you know, the couple next to you in line start, you know, talking about something and it helps you understand something better. So be more open and sort of silent so that you can, again, don't be in loud places because then you can't hear the messages. So you want to sort of be in places where you can get those clairaudient messages, including the extended if you'd like to follow me there. So like I said, we will head there to see how to get you unstuck, and then some general energy on how to heal this wound. If you would like to follow me there, the link is in the description box below. But if we part ways here, good luck with the situation, and I am sending you so much love.